There we
The
go.
meeting got it. Okay.
All right.
So,
Hello, Vivek.
how are you, sir? So
I'm not
today,
doing bad today.
okay. So, uh, we are going to discuss today about Me Too. The Me Too movement, has destroyed many men's lives. It had given many innocent men depression, led them to suicide and
Yes, yes,
injustice.
it's ridiculous. Why didn't we have this in the past? And it never existed in the past. And it is just indicative of the type of women we have nowadays as far as a getting on the bandwagon type thing, and it's fashionable. It's like spoiled, rotten children. Oh, me too, me too. And they're playing with fire, and they're damaging men's lives, and because they are spoiled, but yet they have the status of being placed on a pedestal, and they're privileged. They're valued more than men. So they're going to have this power that they should be completely relieved of in a legitimate effort for equality between men and women. The Me Too thing is just bringing up things of the past that weren't they weren't violations or illegal. They weren't crimes then. How could they be crimes now? It's completely ridiculous, and it shouldn't even be patronized.
Hmm. So yeah, there are few like after the Me Too movement just came by and it has done it was a lot in the news and hypes and everything. There were free questions like backslash was coming in, and obviously if something is wrong then it will have a backslash. So few questions I will ask you, and you can as you have been MRA for the 40 years, so your experience, and you can just tell me and guide us uh, that how uh, we can fight this fake allegations. A man can find it, and you can explain us what is the premise behind it, what is the root cause of it, and few questions related to that.
The
So
root cause behind men's equality, needing equality, and men being treated like dirt. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, root cause, why men's equality is needed, and the
Root,
root cause.
the root cause is chivalry that goes back
Okay.
in our culture as a cancer, the very core of the cancer that needs to be removed. And it was upon that premise that feminism was able to be built because of that bias. And this is why women are still, they're placed as queens. I mean, just like royalty, and as though they're sacred. Being placed on a pedestal is still there. And we need to get rid of that. That's why they can use their bodies against men and still be seen as the innocent that they are not. And men, in comparison, have been completely lowered, especially with feminism's influence. And it's just like it's a common term that feminism is chivalry on steroids, and it's a pretty accurate example and reference. What we need to do is be involved in educating people and getting the record straight. And we have to create awareness. We've got to educate And we have to, in this education process, show where feminists not only do not represent the truth, they create lies, but how they take offense to mere logic and rational reasoning. And this is part of this is the intellectual part of the lack of accountability. And they have the power, but without the accountability. And this is something we have to really, really portray to people and get them on board and understanding this is taking place. Another part of this is the history that we have behind feminism and how the feminists are contaminating not only our educational system, but our history with inaccurate information. They claim to be involved, have been involved back like in the 1920s with a vote and all that. That was women's suffrage. That was a complete different effort. It had nothing whatsoever to do with feminism. Feminism actually wasn't even in the dictionary then. And it's completely built upon a false premise. They claim that feminism represents equality when it, in practice and expression, it does not. And the name itself does not. Feminism represents female, feminine, not male, not masculine. So how could that, from the get-go, even represent equality between men and women? Also, we have women actually, during a very brief period of time in the early 70s, or right in there, they were advocates for men in what was at that time very small segment of time where actually we were coming to rational efforts for men's and women's equality. And then feminism commandeered that whole thing. And come to think of it, one book representing that time period was Esther Valaire's book, The Manipulated Man. And that book really says it all for the times and for feminists commandeering the efforts, the legitimate efforts. And I think it's worthy to show her book. And she had death threats. She was treated horribly by feminists. And right now, there's news that her book won't be available in our country. And that tells you right there how the feminists have taken over and influenced even our right to
publish, freedom.
And publish, yes. And our right, free access to knowledge. And they want to, this book threatens their inaccurate historical documentation. Okay. So I think that's that's part of the whole process of awareness and people being in the know that I'm talking about.
Yeah. So as you told that the right of every individual has in a free country to express himself or herself and to gain knowledge, that right has not been provided to the people in that in the democracy.
Well, it's been taken away. It has been taken away.
It has been snatched away. It has been like censored or something. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's been taken away and censored, but also just kind of exempt. It's, as I explain in my works, and by the way, my first is Equality of Man's Claim, and it shows from the get-go that problem is placing a woman on a pedestal. And that's why I placed this depiction on the front of my book, my first book. And we have completely forfeited any integrity that we have in our educational system as a result. And then the misguided communication that we do have is based on mere prejudice and propaganda. It has no legitimacy.
Yeah. So let's like we were talking about the Me Too movement. So we will just do a question, answer, and discussion type of thing. So what I would like to ask you that what do you think about the fake accusations under the Me Too movement? Do you think the richer and the powerful men are being targeted more?
That powerful men are being targeted. Yes, to some example, because they are being made as an example, and they get more attention that way by attacking those in power or that are the popular figures. And this is another example of women and their status trumping no matter who it is, even presidents, politicians, and of course, actors. And they also look for the financial opportunity that might bring them as well in lawsuits.
To gain some money. Okay.
Yes, and it also brings in some attention to satisfy the evil intentions of feminists.
They get the limelight and they get famous.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's through their false accusations. Who questions a woman because she's superior to a man, right? And then this superiority is used to take down anybody and then to get their way.
This is not good.
It's disgusting, isn't it? And we are fed this garbage through the media that's controlled by these radicals, the fascists, and it's inexcusable.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it right. And as we talked about, to get in the limelight, these feminists, these not feminists actually, this Me Too activists, many fake Me Too accusations who apply for that, they use it to get media attention, to get recognition, and to extract money by blackmailing the rich, the person who has made a name and fame. Because after Me Too, he or she loses all the job and all the opportunities, like Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Johnny
Perfect
Depp,
example, yes.
like he was given a fake allegation by Amber Heard, who was cheating with him.
And she actually assaulted
Elon
him.
Musk.
But she should have been the one arrested.
Yeah.
And
So
she needs to go to jail. And these people that do these things, these women, need to go to jail. Then that'll cut it out. You mentioned earlier, before we were recording, that do I think that the Me Too thing will affect employment of women? And yes, it will, because they're more of a risk. They're more of a liability for the employer. I
was also talking about the meeting thing, that a man and a woman, if they're two persons alone in a meeting, then the man will not like to be in that meeting or socializing or dating process, because man is always nervous of being accused.
He's at risk because he's in the presence of a woman, and her, due to the ridiculous power she has, or that she's been given, especially by our culture in modern society. This took place, I thought it was great, but Pence, our vice president, our former vice president,
Yeah.
made a point of having the door open, and it came out over the news that he didn't trust women, and or just out of insurance safekeeping, he had his door open, so he wasn't completely alone. So there was actually other people who could see the meeting taking place, and that's smart. That's very
CCTV
smart.
camera and footages. Yeah. Yeah. That can
And it was
also work.
recorded. Yes, exactly.
So, because that's the reason why in the Johnny Depp's elevator, there was a hidden camera, and that recorded fully Elon Musk and Amber Heard kissing and everything. So yeah, things were like that. So, and it was used, they were using Johnny Depp's personal house for it. So that was not a good thing.
You'd also mentioned, if I may interject here, that you were wondering if this Me Too movement or fashionable feminist movement, which, by the way, includes other women who don't consider themselves feminists. It's just kind of like women in general now have become more of this caricature. So we've got to deal with more than just those who identify themselves as feminists. But you had mentioned that is this going to make it harder for the women who really are victims to come out and express themselves? Absolutely not, because women are already given all this attention, and anything they say is taken for granted anyway. So no, it won't. It will continue to create awareness that we need, and those women who are truly genuine in their claims, which are very, very few, according to many stats, they will still be given a fair shake. Probably still more than men who go through the same experience or worse, because men are shamed for coming out. It's not part of their defined manhood, which, by the way, is sculpted by women from boyhood. And but no, that's ridiculous. But let's begin the narrative to include men at least, and not be all about women, no matter what topic it is and what injustice takes place. Because as we know, if we're smart thinkers at all, that men are the ones most needing equality to women.
So one thing also we talked about, that this will affect the real women who work hard, and that can and they will face the issues to go up to the corporate ladder for their hard work, because they are also women, and they will get their name, a bad name, and the male counter employees or colleagues will not trust them. So they can also face a negative side of it, from the fake Me Too allegations, that people will not trust her also, the good one.
Oh, the good women on the job.
Yeah. Those who don't do
yeah.
fake allegations.
Okay. Kind of relates to what I just said, but those women, the ones you're talking about, the ones who are just, they haven't made a claim, but they're just workers on the job, correct?
Yeah. A loyal employee, a woman, a female loyal employee who is working for a company, but as there are many fake Me Too cases, these loyal employees will be seen as they can.
They could be at first, but if they prove themselves, just like men have to prove themselves, they've already got cast with stigmas against them from the get-go, just by being men, just by being born with a penis. So welcome to the club. And that club isn't as strict for women, even in those circumstances, as it is for men. But I think an employer will see through that and honor and reward a good woman, a good employee who is a good employee in the workforce.
Okay, so that is the good thing. That is the good thing that an employer can employ that. So who stands as a judge and a jury? Like 20 years later, no proof is there, a media trial is done, scripting is done, and women are believed.
Oh yeah, believe all women, right?
Believe all women.
Yeah.
So who is the judge and the jury in this Me Too movement? The Me
A
Too
lynch
case?
mob. It's a lynch mob mentality. And that's what we're dealing with. It's like in the South, when a man even looked at a woman, a white woman, a black man, or if she even accused him of trying to have sex with her or something, he was hung. And it's prejudice, and we're witnessing that firsthand in this lynch mob mentality and a very misandric mindset that exists, that's predominant in our culture now.
Okay, so yeah, so so what do you think, like, is a sex consent card can be a solution to it?
Oh, the sexual consent card is ridiculous. I mean, I like the idea and the concept, but women are so lacking in their accountability that they are allowed to just bail out at any time. And that card isn't going to have any use. Card or not, they're still like children now, and the laws support that infantile type of behavior and the lack of accountability. Vivek, I can't hear you. Something's gone wrong here.
The sex consent card in which the woman signs that, okay, it's with permission and so on and so forth, will not be a useful thing.
That's because the law has it so they can quit. They can't complete a task, not even sex, without the childish. They're being treated as though they're a child, and they can't complete a task without some kind of an excuse. It's like it's like a spoiled child being held to account. He's going to help somebody in a rescue or something like that, or even something that needs to be taken place and is serious, if it's made to be serious, at a woman's discretion, that is, and then she can bail out. I mean, yeah, we need to change the laws back to the way they were, like in the 50s, and hold women accountable for themselves as adults equal to men.
Okay, so yeah, this is
Vivek, you've got something going on behind you there.
Yeah, I'm trying to see that. Okay, so it's better I switch off my video. So yeah. So what do you what is the final solution you want to give to us to prevent this fake Me Too allegations?
Well, we're doing as much as we can as far as creating awareness and letting men know that we're for them. They're okay. They're okay the way they are. They need to quit being influenced by women to be complete men. We are not to allow women to define manhood or define manhood by a servitude to women, but allow men to be defined in their own right. And this is very important. And if it takes men going their own way, then so be it. They need to go their own way as far as their self-worth. They do not owe women anything. Protection, and that's another issue in its own right, is that who do women need protection from? Men? That villainizes men, vilifies men in the context of society as being bad from the very get-go, from the moment he's born, and the fact he has a penis. That's bullshit. Men are not to protect women any more than women are to protect men. And women aren't entitled to protection any more than are men. In fact, men, the way it is now, need more protection, and from women. That's how we have it as far as our culture, and especially now with feminism dominating our culture and our societies, and the cultures, other cultures like Australia, the UK, that are dictated by the Anglo chivalry origination. And then, of course, those have been used by feminism as a platform. And we'll find feminism in those countries as well as ours in the United States. Hello? Oh, Jesus Christ.
I got to know a lot of it learn a lot from you.
Are you
today,
still there?
so
God, I thought you were gone.
You can listen to me.
Now I can hear you, but you were gone. Yeah, I was just ready to hang up, Vivek.
Okay, that's not the issue. So thank you for joining us.
Okay.
Take care.
All right. You too. Bye.